we're gonna dig into our why. Was that helpful? Thank you guys for sharing. Were you fighting? I know, but you need like a 4-hour workshop. I know, this is when it gets like really good, but because of the time constraint, that's usually what happens. I try to allocate for sharing time, but that's the most powerful part if you really engage, okay? So what is your why? The next page is gonna be about your why, but I wanna just, I'm gonna read to you my why, okay? So it changes every year, like it gets updated, not changes, but it gets updated every year. And I wanted to share with you because, you know, if you can't talk about your why and it's a secret thing, who's gonna, like, how is it gonna happen? You gotta know it, you gotta feel it, and you should be able to share it to the people that you trust, okay? And I trust all of yous. Okay. So actual example, so I want to share you an example so that when you write your why, you dig deep. I want to build a business that would continue to grow beyond my own efforts. Both of our sons are, actually I wrote this a while ago, are in college, one graduating in 2026, the other in 2027. Bart and I want financial peace to be able to travel while funding our kids through college and continue to financially give and serve where we feel called to. I want to experience the world while I'm still physically healthy and strong to do it. I want to build a legacy online coaching business, which is one of the gifts I've been blessed with. The gifts are not to be wasted. It is the work of using my words and mentoring to elevate others, holding my clients accountable to their greatness in their careers. So that was part of my business plan that I have to submit to my coach every year. And so I just, copy and pasted it here. So that's my why, but you see it's all encompassing. It's not just about work, right? I mean, in your deathbed, you're not gonna be like, oh, I wish I worked more. I wish I did more of the work stuff. It's really who you are, right? And the word legacy really resonates with me because it's beyond me. I'm gonna leave something behind that I would be proud of, okay? And my family is part of that. Our sons are aware of this, so this is not a secret. It's not a secret, right, Bart? You're aware of this? Okay. All right, so that's my why. Does that help as an example? Okay, so now I'd like for you to just, next page, you have space. What is your why? And it's not right now, it's why you keep doing what you do. The grind, the hustle, the things that get you out of bed, the things you think about when you go to sleep, the people in your life. Where are you 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now? Who are you with? What are you doing? How is your health? Are you a better version of yourself? How do you get there? You get to author this. Your future. And you might not have even thought about some of the stuff because you think there are limitations. Your why is going to carry you through the limitations. It just has to be big. Bigger than you right now. It's not supposed to be comfortable. It should make you cry. It should make you emotional. It should make you want to just jump up and down and tell the world, tell people. This is my why. It's so big. It's crazy. But it's my why. you know? And just write, don't worry about the grammars, you're gonna clean this up, and you're gonna take this as your first draft, you're gonna revise it, you're gonna add more stuff to it, you'll add the punctuation, don't trip over any of that stuff, don't sweat the small stuff. It's about what comes up for you, what's in your heart. All right. 30 more seconds and we'll go on to the next. Okay. So go to the next page. Could somebody read that image, please? Anybody?
It's a terrible thing to see and have no vision.
We're seeing things all the time, but are we living through our vision? We're all gifted the gift of sight. But are you looking beyond that? Or are you just seeing? Are you just people watching? Are you just the seat in the chair? I mean, the butt in the chair. Are you more than that? So this is what I share with students when I talk to them, and I live and die by this. Make whatever your community, whatever organization you're part of, make it better by the time you leave. Because you were there. Yeah? And it's not about you. Then it no longer is about you. It's about the service. It's about the community that you're part of. It's the legacy that you leave. Legacy doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a ginormous thing. It could be something because you were there, it shifted things. Like Valerie, she's shifting this connection right now, but she shifted what the Chamber of Commerce is. She freaking changed it from somebody who had no experience, was going back to school, right? Woo! Okay, goosebumps every time I talk about that. Stop it, stop it. All right, next page. You see this, right? So this has to do with your profession, okay? Or your side hustle. By the way, don't call it side hustle, because it just sounds like you're discounting it. And I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying that's how it sounds to me. It's you know what I call the thing that I do with the kids and the leadership stuff? It's my passion project.
That's what it is.
Oh, right. Because I mean, it's like not this little stepchild. It's like your passion. You might not make money in it, but it's not about that. It's about where your heart is, who you are, your voice. It's not what you do as an occupation. It could be, right? But your passion is what's gonna, man, when you speak from a place of passion, right? People are moved. Would you agree? They're like, oh my gosh, I want more of this. So, the reason I say all of this is because if I hadn't stopped doing real estate and started doing that leadership, the John Maxwell certified leadership stuff, and ended up working with the kids, I would not be the person that you see me right now to be, still back in real estate, but a completely different version of me. I still know how to do real estate, But what I do really well is attracting people into my world, right? And being okay with the people that I'm not attracting. Because they're not meant to be my clients or my friends, right? And I'm totally okay with that. Like when somebody says, oh, you know, I found another agent with less commission, I'm like, knock yourself out. Good for you. We're not meant to work together, right? I'm not meant to serve you. And so when you are passionate, you are no longer in a place of desperation. Does that make sense? Because you're just living in your zone, regardless. And if you can combine your passion, you see the red? Sorry, that's why I wanted the thing to work. I don't know what happened. The thing in the red is your sweet spot. Everybody turn to your neighbor and say, sweet spot. Sweet spot. Say it like you mean it. Sweet spot. Says the clown. That's so naughty. That's my sweet spot.
It's a naughty part.
Okay, well that's one way of looking. I never looked at it that way, but okay.
In a good way.
In a good way. So our quest in life should be, man, how do I merge all the things? The thing that I love to do, the thing that the world needs, because face it, if you are in a business, you would do really well. You could solve people's problems and get paid doing it, right? Don't they all have problems? Don't we all have problems? Oh, Boston Lee! Give him a round of applause. And that's the right page too, because I added some stuff that's not in the book. I'm like, I have to talk about it. But anyway, but I gotta keep hitting it or something so that it. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, I'm not there yet, but that's where we are. So the thing that you love, what the world needs. So yes, you can have passion, but does anybody want your product? Does anyone want your service? Because if they don't, you will be pounding your head into the pavement trying to convince people. You should not have to convince people to want what you offer if it's what they need. And maybe you're talking to the wrong people, so they don't need what you're talking about. Does that make sense? Joe, for example, he's got this great body shop place for 20 years. Is that what it's called? Auto body shop? Yeah. So at one point we had a BMW and I don't know, I was driving and something happened and it went dented in a big way. So don't stop.
So something happened.
I was driving like I totally so innocent. I don't know what happened. Anyway,
Ignorance is bliss.
something flew into the car. I don't know, some metal something. I might have been looking away. I don't know. Anyway, but Joe he took great care of us. The customer service. It's just like I'm like, man, Joe, if my car ever gets busted up again, I'm coming back to see you. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that it doesn't, but
Yeah.
I remember you. I remember your crew, you know. So the world needs they have to need what you have to offer for you to make money, right? And then then you can get paid. I mean, you know what I tell the kids, like, wouldn't it be cool, like, find what you love, and just do that. And then nobody has to wake you up in the morning. You just leap out of bed and you're like, oh, I can't wait to do this again, another day, right? Because your passion's all over it. And it really helps if you're great at it, right? Like it just organically comes out of you. It's not a thing that you have to work on. Valerie, I've seen this human being grow from she didn't do public speaking, and now when she speaks, it's like, oh my gosh, check out this. So I'm like a proud mama in a way, because I open the gate and she just blasted through, and she's doing all the amazing things, and fearlessly, okay? So it helps, and sometimes all of you are sitting here right now, you have a gift that you haven't even tapped into. Would you agree? Nod your head. Okay, say to your neighbor, I have a gift I haven't even used. Say it. Yes. The blind spot, like what Daryl said, right? Like you haven't used, you're busy working, your thing, your grind or whatever, and you haven't even explored it, okay? So our job is to what? To find what?
The sweet spot.
Say it together now. Find what? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So, I just wanted to share this with you since it's up on the screen before it goes black again. So that's my actual, I just took the picture today. That's my vision board, okay? So my vision board is like a thumb head thing, so I can switch out whatever, right? So last year I updated, so it's on the wall in my home office. So you see that red arrow? You see what's underneath that? What is it? So, like, I forgot that I put that there. And then, like, this just happened a few months ago that we got the Tesla. And it was like one conversation, and Brian like, when am I going to get the Tesla? And he's like, oh, let's get it right now. I whipped out the phone, and I'm like, oh, you can order a car on the phone, which was very scary that you could do that. What if you made a mistake and you ordered the wrong car? You return it or what? Anyway, I didn't get a red car, I got a blue one. And I could have gotten the red one, but I'm like, yeah, I don't want to, like, draw too much attention from the cops. Because it may be such a smooth drive and I'm speeding or something. So I went blue, but, like, it blew my mind when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I put it on the board! Right, so the Power Vision Board, this is not a vision board workshop, but you get the picture, right? It's whatever quotes, it's whatever that resonates with you. It's the beachfront house that I want to live in, that would like for Bart to come along as well. Are you cool? Are you cool with the beachfront house, honey? Okay, all right. And if you see the, I don't know if I can do this. You see that picture of, that's me with the kids at the high school. It was one of those, I think it was during COVID year or we just came out of COVID. And the kids were just whacked out, like social skills, like everything went out the window. And the school was like, and we were preparing for career day, which I co-founded. Like how I managed to have time to do that and real estate, I don't even know. But I did that for like 10 years, right? So the school said, why don't we just get, like, can you come and talk to the kids, the 9th and 10th graders? And I'm like, well, I can't, like, I have, like, a business, so I can't do that one class after another. I'm like, can you just put them all in the assembly? So that's 400 kids. I did 400 kids, 9th graders, and then I did a separate session for the 10th graders. And, like, we had a blast. And I set the rules, and I said, you know, if you feel the urge to say things that are irrelevant, and we're not talking about that, I give you permission to just step outside, and one of your teachers should be there with you, and when you are ready, I love you all the same, I want you to come back in. So I'm giving him a what? A timeout. Like, just, but don't, I said, I don't want you to take anything away from what we're doing. Good, and they're like, yeah, okay. So anyway, well behaved, 400 kids, it's amazing. I learned later, the principal said, oh, we had the craziest group of 9th graders, like misbehaving, like the whole thing, getting the slips and all that. They were like, well, I'm glad you didn't tell me that before I talked to them, because they were cool, And then I ran into some of them at like Safeway and stuff, and one of them said, like, did a double take and goes, you're that teacher that spoke at the assembly. And, right, I don't see myself as a teacher, but, so be open to what people are saying to you, what they're observing or saying about you, okay? All right, it's on my vision board because I don't want to forget that that's a time in my life, and I still speak in school, but those things are important to me. You know, it's my passion, right? Okay. Next page. Pie chart. No, wheel of life. Wheel of life. What I'd like for you to do, there are different areas in your life. This is who you are, okay? Let me just say this. Imagine it's a wheel, right? And if one of these spokes, you know, like, what do you call them, the horse carriage? One of those,
Carousel?
no, horse carriage.
Okay, horse carousel?
Is that one of those,
Bicycle.
I don't appreciate your
Where are we
support.
going?
Bicycle is a spoke.
Yes,
Bicycle is a spoke.
one of the spokes is broken. What happens to the wheel? What happens to the wheel? I'm asking.
Wobbly and.
Oh, so it affects all the other spokes, right? It's broken. You can only ignore the broken spoke for so long. It's dragging you down. It's slowing you down. It's drawing all the attention and the resources that you have within you to just love this, patch it up, but not really fixing it. Does that make sense? Ooh, that was good. I think I should write that down. Okay, so Wheel of Life, you have the areas from, starting from the, I don't know where that is. Let's see, which page am I at? I added it in there, there. Okay, so you've got spiritual, okay, that's your faith. It's whatever that is to you, okay? Beyond you. Spiritual is something that is beyond your ability, right? Emotional. Your heart. What's in your heart, right? What moves you? What breaks your heart that we talked about? Your career, right? What do you do for a living, okay? Your intellectual, the things that stimulate you intellectually. Could be books, could be movies, could be however you take it, audible, okay? For me, it's a lot of audio books because I don't have the attention span to finish flipping through, unless the book is really good. And I only read leadership books. I don't read fiction. Those are fictions. I like real stuff. Anyway, that's my own little trip. Okay, intellectual, environmental, your surrounding. You are the product of the five people closest to you. They affect your thoughts, your perspective, your opinions, whether you like it or not. And sometimes they're family. Ooh, she liked you being in her surrounding. I don't know, the hand gesture was pretty powerful. You! Okay, so I want to give you an example of this. So I grew up, was born and raised in Thailand, the only child, and I could relate to what you said, Teresa, because my mom has so much love in her, but she didn't want me to climb a tree because I'm gonna fall. She didn't want me to stay out too late because something bad's gonna happen. That's what I grew up with, okay? Out of love and care. But those are the things that surrounded my thinking. So I'm proud to say I still don't know how to climb a tree. How sad is that? But I guess I don't need to anymore. But I didn't know how to do a lot of things. I was very sheltered and scared. And then at one point I was like a size 12. I was in college. And every time I would see my family, they'd be like, "You're so fat." And I'm like, "Can you say hello first?" You know what I mean? So you know what I'm trying to say, right? And I'm not downing. It's a cultural thing. It's a generational thing. Yeah, right? So it's like, come on, people, right? So I decided that's not going to be me. That is not going to be me. Say to your neighbor, that's not going to be me.
That's not gonna be me.
Oh, yeah. So whatever it is that restricts you, that limits you, that puts limitation on you, you gotta work to, the transformational work has to come from you to change it. Because it's all you know, right? That happens with our kids. Where do they get who they are? They learn from us, right? So when I feel like, oh, I want to say something, shut. So I sit in my hand, I zip my mouth, and I'm like, okay, so what does that mean to you? So I'm coaching, right? I'm like, okay, I'm a coach right now, I'm not a mom. Because I want them to get to their solution themselves, okay? So your environment impacts you more than you know. And when it's not healthy, and only you know when it's healthy, you know what I mean? It doesn't make you feel good, you need to do something about that. Because that's not gonna change on its own. It's either they impact you or you impact them. And you can use words, you can do a lot of things to change things. 7 years, he's like, you're not about the money. Like, when he talks to me about money, I'm just like, I must have this glaze, I don't know, like, he's like, money doesn't motivate me. I said, no, it doesn't. It's what money can do that motivates me. Not the money itself, right? So, but financial is important. Zig Ziglar says, money isn't everything, but you can breathe so much better when there's more of it. Or something like that, right? When you don't have to be stressing about money, doesn't that feel better? Right? So, financial is important, okay? Not everything, but it's important.
Point it at your laptop.
Oh, what?
Point your remote to the laptop.
Oh.
'Cause that's where there you go.
What happened?
You've got to point your remote to the laptop and not the TV.
Oh,
Because that's where
you see? What do I need to stop doing? Stop pointing the clicker to the TV. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
Oh, God. Okay. He was responding like it was, I was making sense. Okay, here we go. Back to it. Relationships. People in your life, your friends, your siblings, your kids, your parents, right? All the people around you. Do you like being around them? Right? And then some not so much, right? Some, well, who will you go camping with? Oh, that's a better question, because you're stuck with them for boating, you know what I mean?
I like those people. Let's go.
Oh, I'm too busy to go camping with you, but I'll go with the other people, you know, kind of thing. There's only so much you can do when you're camping, man, I tell you. Okay. Wellness, your health. And I mean spiritually, mentally, physically. Like when I pray, it's spiritually, mentally, and physically. It's not one thing. It's not just a physical thing, right? So I want you to draw a line. Here's an example where you are in each area. So the higher you are, the more is like a 10, right? The lower you are is where you are. It needs work. So do that so you'll get a visual of where you are with your wheel. Go ahead, please. And don't overthink it. Don't like redraw the line. It is what it is. And you know where you are. Oh my God, I have 10 minutes left.
No, we can go over.
Well,
We can think about
So sorry. I knew I had too much material in here. I knew that too. Okay. How many of you have to leave by 8? And it's okay? Ooh, really?
Can I text my kids?
8 a.m.
Yeah.
8 a.m. in the morning.
Well, this will be your breakfast right here. The crackers and stuff. Okay. Sorry, guys. I get so. I can't help myself. All right. We're gonna go to the next one. Did you do it yet? Okay. I want you to share this with your loved one and talk about it. Oh, Naira loves everybody. Yay! Because this is very indicative of where you are in your life, right? When you have a visual of where you are in each spoke, and the ones that, which ones are the ones that need your most attention? Which, like, not the label, but the lower, the higher ones? The lower ones. Those are your problem children, right? Take a look at that. When you go home, like, really think about, like, what can I do to improve it? Don't get caught up in the stories and the reason why you can't, like, nobody cares. Turn to your neighbor and say, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about your story, but you. Because it's a cushion. It makes you feel like it's justified. Well, you know what? You can't change something if you believe that you can't change something, right? So you gotta look at it like, pretend like it's your best friend wheel and you're trying to help them. What do I need to do in that area that needs attention to change it? Because it's gonna drain you for okay? I want you to do what you can, we'll give it like 2 minutes, no, just kidding, 5 minutes. So kind of go through it and really backfill it when you have more time to reflect on it, okay? So the first one is, this is gonna help you sort of formulate your vision. What's the one thing you're willing to work to accomplish in 2025, and why? The why is what, remember the why page? The why is what's gonna keep you in the game. It's not what you say you're gonna do, it's why you're doing it, okay? What is that one thing you're gonna accomplish? And maybe you already started, but you're gonna nail it this year. I'm not asking for a list of 10 things, because when you're overwhelmed, you do nothing. Just one thing, pick one thing. Second thing, what keeps you up at night? Your eyes pop open at 3.
Stress.
Who wakes up at 3? Oh, did you say stress?
Yeah.
3 a.m. How many of you wake up at 3 a.m.? Studies have shown that that's usually the hour when your brain wakes up. Jay raises his wife's arm. 3 a.m. How many of you 3 a.m. are in the house? 3 a.m.
Is that it? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What, when you wake up, what are you thinking about? And then you can't even go back to sleep because you're thinking about it, right?
Start thinking about all the things that should be doing.
See? Oh, can I tell you what has worked for me? Because that used to be
When you
like,
get to work and
oh my God, I'm exhausted by the time I'm supposed to wake up because I lost 3 hours being awake, right? So I do the meditation app, like I put the thing, the headset in my ears, and it's like, oh, visualize or whatever, so like different apps. So the one I have is Breathe, but you have like different versions, like it could be visualization, it could be dealing with anxiety when you go to sleep, so it just depends on my mood each day. And then I put the lovely eye mask on, and I am out, baby, before the app stops talking, like 20 minutes, and then I wake up in the night and take the thing off. But it has worked amazingly for me for the last 3 years. And in most cases, I sleep through the night. It's what you listen to, and what you watch, and what you take in before you go to sleep. It stays with you. Your brainwave, right? It's like processing. So you watch, how many of you like watch scary movies before you go to sleep? Crime shows, I used to do that. I'm like, oh my God, it's waking up in the middle of the night. I don't do that anymore because it doesn't help my sleep. What areas do you rock at? What are your skills, talents, gift zone? You should know this. I don't care if it's cooking. I don't care if it's, well, I would say laundry, but I'm not very good at that either. Our house is full of laundry. But, you know what I'm saying. What are your gift zones? The things that like, oh man, I can cruise through this because I got this, right? What is that? Is it being organized? Is it being an instructor of Muay Thai? Breaking down the pieces? Whatever she said, the moves and the things, right? It comes naturally to you. It's what people come and ask you to do. Because you've got this, right? Next page. What are you doing when you feel like you're on top of the world? You're unstoppable. Like you can't touch this. And it's not ego. It's like, I rock at this. Have you ever said that to yourself? Like, besides saying, oh, stupid, why did I do that? Like, you're like, man, I rock. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, it's pretty good. Yeah? Okay? Next one, who makes you feel untouchable? Who are your champions? Like, when you're like, you know, your face is in the dirt, you're trying to get yourself back up, those people are the ones like, you got this. I believe in you. I've been so blessed with so many people who have said that to me that I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have people who believe in me. Like they saw what was in me that I didn't see for myself. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be a real estate agent, award-winning, if the broker didn't say, I knew that you would be good at this, but I didn't want to do sales, okay? So, list their first names. You should send them, oh, let me extend a little challenge for you. Write a handwritten thank you card, or just a note card, and mail it to them. I was thinking about you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for your support. Note cards are a rare art now, and it's so meaningful when you get one, you know. Number 6, if you knew you could not fail, what would you, left the you out, what would you be doing right now? You could do anything, anything. Could it be skydiving? Could it be bungee jumping? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be work. This is not just about work. It's about who you are. This is about you stepping boldly and courageously. What would you be doing right now? You knew you could not fail. No one can reject you. Nobody can stop you. What's she gonna do? What was her answer?
I wrote down crypto.
Ah!
Because Ben's not gonna be happy.
Let's have a conversation.
A whole conversation in itself. Okay, number 7, what would you do? Oh my God, I got some disconnected sentences here. What would you do if you had 5 years to live? I don't mean to be morbid, but life happens. We don't have control of when our last day is. If you knew you had control and you knew you had 5 years, what would you do right now? How would your day look every day? You kind of live differently when you feel like your time is limited, right? What conversations would you need to have that you haven't had? What's the unfinished business? What's the closure that would maybe repair one of the spokes of the wheel? Ooh. Deep, huh? Pardon my broken, disconnected sentences, the I and the you, I don't know, but I have to tell you, I had a blast preparing this. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. Somebody read that, please.
Your vision statement should move you emotionally.
Yes, ma'am. It should move you. It should just like make you cry and laugh and whatever else, okay? So I attached an example of my vision. Do you want me to read it, or you want to read it yourself and write your own vision? More of a time thing. I don't need to read it. But you have an idea, right? Huh? You wanna come with me? Oh. So this is the crazy stuff, right? Like, I knew there were some things I wanted to do, but like, I've been moved in so many, like, from different people. Like, I don't know why you would know this, but I was asked to serve as a school board chair at North Hills Christian School, which is a school that my kids never went to, but I was asked by the leadership team, nominated, all the things. I never asked for any of this stuff, right? It just comes. And I prayed about it, and this is my 2nd year. They're like, you're doing such a phenomenal job. But anyway, so this mission trips are coming up in the Philippines, April 2025, and then this other thing in Thailand, which is where I'm from, just like landed at our church. So I had this vision, speaking of vision, that I was gonna be there. I was there until I was 14, right? But I was gonna be there and give back in some way, but I didn't know what it was. And so now all the eyeballs are on me because I'm the only Thai person in the church. And they're like, you're coming, right? I'm like, yeah, of course. And they're like, well, yeah, the ministry is to teach them English. Can you speak Thai? I'm like, yes, I can speak up until, 14. I can read and write. Who knew? Who would have thunk that I would be doing this? And I'm so excited, right? Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Very cool. Okay. So anyway, what is your vision? So be like, man, just lay it in there. and don't hold back. You can't fail. Well, you can miss a shot that you never took. Does that sound right? No. You can miss the shot, I don't know, anyway, you know what I mean? You have to have a target and you just gotta take a shot at it. And your vision should be on your wall, on your computer screen. This is not, you don't write it out and then like, oh, let's not tell anybody about my vision. Cause they might make fun of me. Like, well, don't show it to them. That's not the names on the list. You know what I mean? The people that would support you. It should be people that would support you and like, come on, let's go. It's accountability. It's a beautiful thing, accountability. Okay? When done in love. So I want you to write about your vision. Okay? Some of you already started writing. Maybe throw a few sentences in there and then finish it. Does that sound okay? I really want you to take time on this. Dress it up, slap it on the wall, put it on a nice background, whatever. Okay? How many of you are committed to writing your vision statement? Okay, 3 hands, 4 hands. Okay. Did you raise your hand? Okay. Oh, you were writing. Okay. Please do this for yourself. Do this for yourself. You owe it to yourself. You deserve this. Okay? All right. And then when you have a vision, you got to set goals. And there's a thing called SMART goal, right? When you set goals, you have to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be attainable. So don't set a goal that you're gonna make $5 million this year if that's not attainable. You know what I mean? Because then you set yourself up to fail, right? Maybe $1 million, not 5, right? Or, you know, you're gonna, I don't know, become muscular when you haven't been working out. Like, be realistic, you know? Relevant to you, right? To your why, right? Time bound. So when I ask people, and I love doing this, because I'm very like, I set goals and I'm like, I stick to it and because that's how you pace yourself, you know what I mean? Like you gotta put a timeline to it. Like is it in 3 months? So like my coaching program, which I had started, I'm like, okay, my goal is to have it rolled out. I have to start a focus group, so there are different stages. But I want it rolled out by June this year, which means I gotta hustle. Like it doesn't just come together, right? Now, when you ask people, like, when are you gonna do this? And they go, soon, which sometimes my wonderful children would say, soon. I'm like, can you show me what soon is on the calendar, please? What page does it say soon? Like, oh, Mom, right? How many of you do that, though? People go, when are you gonna do this? Oh, soon, as soon as I can get to it. Because it's out, right? Then nobody can hold you accountable. You can't even hold yourself accountable because you don't know what soon is. And then 3 years later, you're still talking about doing the same thing. You know those friends that like, let's get together for coffee. I'm like, give me 2 options, a date and a time. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get back to you soon. I'm like,
Yeah.
goodbye soon. Okay, right? Like, we don't need to talk about having coffee anymore because soon ain't ever gonna happen, right? Okay. Now I'm just leaving you some soft stuff. I saw this, and I started doing it, okay? So, it's a great way to sort of like collect the goods in your jar, right? One year at the graduate party, I gave out the gratitude jar. I don't know what people do, maybe they put nuts in it, I don't know. Anyway, it looks kind of like this. This January, start with an empty jar. Each week, add a note with a good thing that happened that week. On New Year's Eve, open it and read about it. The amazing year you had. We spend so much time about the bad stuff. Oh my gosh. We live it, we relive it, we talk about it, and we forget all the good little things, a collection of little things. How many of you think it's a good idea? You would do this. It's so easy. I started mine like, oh, look at all these colorful papers in there. Okay? So here's a create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. Miss O said that, okay? It's what you say to yourself. It's what you say is the limitation that is your limitation. Nobody else takes better care of that for you than you, okay? You only lose what you cling to. So I've become like, what I've gotten really good at, and I had to work at it, is detaching myself from the outcome. The deal, the whatever, right? It's like, well, you know, if you don't want to work with me, you're going to come up with stories, and I'm not going to chase after you. And it's not because I'm all that, it's just, I cannot spend my time getting my energy sucked into something I don't have control over, you know what I mean? Now I'm missing out all the other great people because I'm like trying to chase down this one person or whatever, right? So I'm like so detached about so many things that it frees you. You live so much lighter when you're not trying to like obtain something that is not within your control. Does that make sense? Okay? So this was the thing that Valerie was talking about, because this was left out on the slide from the last time. Of all strategies, knowing when to quit may be the best. How many of you have like multiple hats and things you're doing right now? Careers, hobbies, side hustles, passion projects, right? Really look at them and go, has it yielded me joy? Because if it yields you joy, maybe you'll make money doing it. But if it's not even yielding you joy, but you feel committed because you started and you can't quit, like that's just, you need to stop saying that. You gotta do what is best for you, right? And you can only do one or two good things, like great things, at a time. Your brain is designed to, you know that book, The One Thing? You can really focus on one thing at a time. Like multitasking is not, you're just spreading yourself so thin and the jack of all trades, master of none, all the things, right? So look at what might you have to drop. So I just came back from a conference, it's all about stop with the distraction. The things that are just filling your day. No, you're so busy. But they don't return any rewards. You don't feel productive. You just feel like you were busy, right? Out of commitments and obligations. I've gotten really good at saying no too. Like, you can do that in a nice way, respectful way, because people will come when you, like, they figure out, like, Valerie, she can get anything done, they come to her for everything. Every cause needs Valerie, right? Well, Valerie has to sleep too, right? So I'm sure you've had to say no to something, right? Yep. I've had to say no to a lot of things, and well, I like to sponsor stuff when it comes to schools. Well, I cannot sponsor the whole world because my family needs to eat, you know what I mean? Gotta pay mortgages. So I'm like, this doesn't line up with me. It doesn't align with what I want to do, so I'm gonna decline. It's okay. They'll still like you. And if they don't, oh well.
Oh well.
Wasn't meant to be, right? Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you've lost it, you can never get it back. Value your time. Don't waste it. You know when people say, oh, I want to tell you about my business, can we have coffee? I'm like, no. No. So you have to be the judge of that, right? Don't do anything out of obligation just because you feel that you have to for whatever reason. People actually, what I've learned is people respect your time more when you respect your own time and you value it and you make sure that you set boundaries, right? And especially the entrepreneurs, the people that are doing different things, you wonder like why you wake up at 3 in the morning because you haven't had time to decompress to go to sleep. Because you're just doing, right? And you're saying yes to all the things, okay? Okay, now I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing, okay? There's a focus group that I'm starting for the program is called Authentic Client Attraction, because I know how to do that. And I don't say that boastfully, I just know how to do it. There's a formula to it. Everything that I do now it's not always strategic, but I think about why I do certain things, because attraction works both ways. I don't wanna attract people that I don't wanna attract, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want more work for me. I want people that respect me, value my time, barter my time, and want to work. Like, the clients that come to our door are like, we're not talking to anybody else. We just want you, can you be our agent? What an honor is that, right? And, you know, last year, I mean, just to give you an idea, real estate industry was hit hard. A lot of agents quit, like a huge percentage, which I did not know because I was too busy working. And my broker was telling me, and my coach was like, oh no, like our production was better than the year before. And that's just because we've been doing it the way that we've been doing it. And we have people just kind of referring clients to us. That's what I want to share with the clients that I'm going to be working with, whatever businesses they're in, okay? It's so much more fun when people actually knock on your doors as opposed to you knocking on their door saying, please, let me just have a chance to interview with you. Like, I don't, you know, Bart can attest to this, the last 2 years that he's been with me, you know, like agents were supposed to have like a listing presentation. Like I did that with Diane Ching. I haven't had to do that. Like it doesn't get there. Like I don't get to whip out my laptop or my folder or whatever. I just talk to them and they're like, okay, so what's the next thing? When do we sign the thing? And then we send the DigiSign. And I told Bart, I said, this is not normal. Like you're not getting like good training.
There's a workshop.
Every time we get in the car, I'm like, that's not how it normally goes. He's like, I know. Like, he can't duplicate that because I just go in there and he's like, I see what you're doing. You're just talking to them and you care about them. And I'm like, yeah. Because the technical part is you already know how to do that. And you get to a certain season in your life where it's not about like the pitch. Like, pick me. It's like, this is who I am, in my jeans, my quoted t-shirts, and if you want to work with me, let's go, you know? And then they're like, okay, so are you going to send us some paperwork to sign, or how does it work? I'm like, oh yeah, we'll did you sign? My coach is like, that's just crazy, that's not how people do things. Anyway, that's client attraction. The reason I tell you that is because there's a way, in anything that you do, that you can do that every single time, and you will get the right people to want to work with you, as opposed to just taking anybody, and then you're like, oh God, how do I fire my client, right? I tried to fire a couple of clients, but they wouldn't leave. So we finished it out, and then when we hang up the phone, Bart's on the call, I'm like, that's not normal. He's like, I know. She's like, you know, I could find you another agent. No, but wait. I'm like, oh, okay. We'll stay together. Okay. So this is and this is just kind of a glimpse of what, when you have a business, okay, so you have to have a unique selling proposition, right? And mine is, I help small, so I went through the whole process of like a bunch of stuff this program produces the words in a concise way. I help small business owners who struggle to generate clients and make money go from feeling overwhelmed and considering giving up their dream to creating stable, profitable businesses that attract clients naturally. This allows them to achieve financial security, gain self-recognition in their market, and focus on innovation. So I get bored very easily, so my business keeps changing and it looks different like all the time because I grow, right? So Bart's like, okay, what are we doing here? What? I would send him a bunch of stuff, like, can you look through this? And he's like, okay, but you know about this more than I said, can you just look through the details, see if we could do it? I'm not a detail person. Anyway, but when you're innovative, people are attracted to that because you care. You show that you care, right? All right. So this is a kind of the rough draft. I don't think I put it in there. No. Okay. Sorry, guys. I can send this to you guys, because I just threw this in. Because I wrote it, but the rough draft of the modules, so this is where the focus group is going to help me. These were the things that I kind of put together that would be in the modules, because I think about what I've had to do to grow my business, right? Your why, your mindset, your skills, your agency, which by definition, the sense of control that you feel in your life, your capacity to influence your own thoughts and behavior, and have faith in your ability to handle a wide range of tasks and situations. So it's what's within you that you may not have even tapped into, okay? Discover your client avatar, which is huge, because how many of you chase down like anybody and everybody? Like, I was like that when I was in real estate. If you're breathing and you say you want to buy a house, I don't even care if you're pre-approved, I just want to work with you, you know? So you start, when you speak to one person, and it becomes one person times 10, times 100, times 200, you like nailed it, you know what I mean? You're a specialist. Somebody used to tell me, why do you want to just focus on American Canyon? It's too small. Ooh. Prove you wrong, right? I like our office, which is mainly, the production is really Bart and me. Remax Gold recruited us, open that office for us. I mean, they're paying all the bills. They're like, we want you here. We can only open the office if you come. And we're like the #1 producing brokerage in American Canyon. Right? I'm like, okay, so you said don't focus on American. I love it here. But then we end up with clients in surrounding cities because not everyone can live here because there are not enough houses. You know what I mean? But niche down on who your avatar is and focus on and really drill it down. Like, stop trying to catch everything because you are distracting yourself. Because then you don't know who you really, your true message is and who you're speaking to, okay? Self-discipline, work ethics, boundaries is huge. It took me a long time to just like, we just talked about that, right? Setting boundaries really frees you up in your business and in your life. Your network, how do you leverage on the network of people that you have? Now, how do you have intentional conversations? When I go to a conference of like, you know, we just went to the thing of like, I don't know, 2,000 people, I just talked to 4 people. I don't need all 4,000 people. Nobody's gonna remember who's who, just a bunch of business cards, right? It's the 4 intentional conversations that you're gonna end up growing your business in your network, okay? How do you do that? How do you do this, you know, make those conversations? Your business plan is huge, so I have to do that every year. So there's a finance section, right, projection, blah, blah, blah. Anxiety in money relations, how many of you have that? Come on now, is it just me? Sometimes it wakes you up at night, I don't know, right? Like scarcity, like, oh God, just, you know, please just let me be in abundance of money, then I can breathe better, right? Anxiety around your relationship with money, what it means to you, all the things. Marketing, branding, that's huge, okay? So that's kind of the rough draft of the program, but we deep dive into it and I would be like doing coaching, group coaching around that too. And that's it. Is that it? That's it. We're done. So I just wanted to share.
Thank you guys.
So if you are interested in being in the focus group, you don't have to pay to be in the focus group, but the group is going to help me formulate. Sorry, I only have 2 sheets. But the focus group is going to help give me feedback on these modules, okay? And if you decide to move forward, great. If you don't, that's okay. No hard feelings. You're going to add value, and I respect you. And when it becomes a full-blown paid course, it's an online thing. So that's the legacy piece, right? It has to go beyond the physical part. And I'm excited. Like, this keeps me up at night as I was preparing this, because I know that that's my next chapter. That's why we need to bring in more agents so that I'm freed up to be able to do the creative work that will impact small business owners. So I wanted to share that with you as well. It's not a sales pitch, so if you don't want to do the focus group, that's fine. But I want you to know, and if you know people that want to be in the focus group, and I want to take in, you know, is the attraction works both ways? I want to take in people that actually are going to value it and be willing to give feedback, not just like, oh, what did I miss? Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not rewinding. We're just going to keep moving forward together. Okay, so would anyone like to share, like maybe a takeaway or 2, just randomly to the group?
So
Yes.
when you talked about how like, the clients are just coming to you, and that was just kind of weird because everything that I do that's not workshops and people are asking me, oh, I'm doing a women's self-defense group
Yeah.
class, will you present for me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let me check my calendar, but, I mean, when it's something that is authentically you and you're passionate about it.
yeah.
So this is my passion project, thank you for giving me.
Oh, you're welcome. And you know what, I used to do stuff for free, like the whole leadership stuff, and then I was like, and Mark's like, okay, when are you gonna make money with this leadership thing, like?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. And then I ended up coming back to real estate, and now I get to just give back doing leadership work, you know what I mean? But now it's like the next season of this into an online program, because I see so many small business owners. I mean, I'm one of them, right? But I'm just at a different season where I can actually share how you can, there's an art in doing this. There's an art in doing this, and it's not salesy, you just gotta be you, but people need to hear about you in your clear message, so that they can say, oh, I like you, I wanna do business with you, and they don't go anywhere. Once they like you, you know how when you go shopping and you like a certain salesperson, you keep going back to them? And the opposite is true, when somebody turns you off because they're just like chasing you down, trying to sell you the shoes, I'm like, I like those shoes, but I'm gonna go to a different store now, because I can't breathe around you, it's suffocating me, right? So, it's that, right, it's the art of that, and sometimes I know that I needed coaching in so many stages of my life to be able to, because like, you can't see yourself when you're in the picture. Does that make sense? Somebody else has to show you how you need to tweak whatever you're doing. Sometimes it's just a few words, sometimes it's what you say, sometimes it's your demeanor, it's a lot of things, okay? So, thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Representing the middle table.
My discovery was just the why and the, doing what we do each day to set an example for our kids and for me anyway. I wanna be that person that gives the guidance and is strong and not feeling the insecurities coming over me and belittling myself, especially in front of the kids. Like, I was getting to that point where, oh, you can't do this, or, I'm doing all these things, but I'll get stuck on the one thing I can't do, or the frustration. So,
Yeah,
just, cleaning that up,
yeah,
and dusting that off,
yes,
and then just keeping that clarity for
yes.
that.
And it's catching it, sometimes it's a trigger, and sometimes it's like, and you have, like, if you have somebody in your life, just like, when I do that, like, a signal or something, of like, stop me, don't let me choke on myself, you know what I mean? Okay, awesome. Anybody from that far table?
I usually, one of the questions was what's keeping you up at night. I usually don't have any problems. I usually,
Oh,
go right
you're
to
so
sleep.
blessed.
Now I think I'm gonna be, be awake. Because I'm gonna start thinking, oh, Cassandra asked me, what is your vision?
Yes.
Very simple question, but then I'm like, it's really hard to answer because there's so many things that you wanna be able to do, believe in yourself, that I can do this, I can do that,
Yes.
these are the barriers, blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
and now, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep well tonight, because I'm gonna start thinking about some,
And many more nights to come, my friend.
I can't even answer, the questions just straightforward, because it just opens up a lot of my things.
Yeah. I would encourage to read my example vision, because it goes into different areas, and it's years of that, right? And it keeps getting refined, and you really, don't get caught up on the destination, because we don't know our destination. Get caught up in the process of discovery. It's gonna look different next year.
My favorite quote, life's a journey, not a destination.
Right on.
I loved that before I even knew what that meant.
Yeah,
Years ago, and
Yeah.
it's just that resonates so
Yeah.
much, it's so true.
however, like the GPS would serve you, right? If you don't have the address, no GPS in the world is gonna get you there. It's just, make a U-turn, right? It's like, oh, this is the address, even, like, we have a listing in St. Helena right now, people keep getting lost, because it says lane, road, whatever, the GPS is confused, and the thing, and you get calls, it's a headache. you know, when you don't have a clear address. So, yes,
That vision.
yes, be in the journey, but what is it that you want out of your life in the next 10, 20 years? Like, what do you want to claim to be yours? You know what I mean? That's a vision statement. And sometimes you just say, I know this is, like, the 2 trips, the mission trips, we didn't know for sure if I was gonna go. But I put it down and I talked to my husband, I'm like, can you hold down the business, honey? Because I feel the need to travel. And then I'm like, well, you know, and my passport expired, I'm like, God, if you want me to go, please just keep the renewal passport. And it came 2 days ago, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going, right? But I'm just sort of like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta claim it. Sometimes you just gotta claim the things that you didn't think were within your realm, or it's not convenient, I mean, I see Valerie do it all the time. What's your thing? Build the wings as you fly.
Build the plane.
Build the plane,
Build the
fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I live too. I'll figure out the how. I just need to know the why.
And where.
Yes, and the what, and the address.
Yeah.
So I hope that you will take all of this with you. I would love to hear how things go for you this year. I hope that you really do the work, follow through, finish don't worry about, you don't have all the vision things spelled out. It'll keep coming up, because now it's like when you see a blue Tesla, or you have a blue Tesla, now you see a bunch of blue Teslas, because you're attracting it to you. You know what I mean? So be in that conversation with people you love, okay?
I just have one thing. Like, on top of all of this, when you showed us your vision board, it reminded me, like, 2 years ago, I was like, we need to have a vision board. I'm like, I want a food truck, and I want this and this and this. And then that year, was that last year? Year before, we ended up with a food truck. And my vision board fell, so I put it somewhere,
Uh-huh.
and I left it there, and I forgot about it, and one day I pulled it out, and I was like, hey, there's a food truck on
See,
here.
right?
And it was just like, it's like if you can think it, somehow it's gonna, you know, like, I mean, I'm a person of faith, so like, we pray and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And just, you know, really believe that God put the right people in place for us and the
Yes.
right things, and like, you know, this food truck came about like by accident more, because, so we were looking, and this food truck didn't have enough pictures. And our agent was just like, oh, there's this food truck, it used to be a coffee shop truck or whatever. I said, there's no pictures. I said, can we just do more pictures? And it was like $80-something thousand at first, and I guess they lowered it because nobody was buying it. And then they gave us photos, and I was like, that's exactly what I want. And so, and it was in San Diego, so we were able to drive it, and it was permitted in California, so you need to do that. But everything was just in place, and it was just like, this was part of our vision board.
Yeah.
That this was like part of our journey of like what we were gonna do. And so here we are. And then, you know, Ramsey had this vision because he's such a Warriors fan that we were going to work with Clint. He's
Oh my God,
you
that's
should
so
ask him.
awesome, right?
And so, but it also is like the partnership that you have with your spouse. Like, Ramsey's like, I would have never gotten that because I don't talk, but you do, and you. He's like, you and Rona, like, you know, really hit it off and this, that, and like, he's like, you know how to talk. And he's like, I'll just have a vision. I'm like, okay. But it is, like,
Yes.
it becomes like a partnership, like, once you guys became partners, it's like, you know, I know you're a person of faith too, but like, it was just like your whole business blew up, right? It was like God always meant for you guys to work together as partners.
And
So-
your voice is your vision, you know what I mean? You gotta cast it so that the universe and everybody in your life can support it. But if you're holding it in because you don't think, or you're like, oh, it's too big, can't do it, you won't even hear it. And if you don't hear it, how is anybody else gonna hear it? The food truck came from the vision, you know what I mean? So that's a tangible thing, but like, just don't be afraid, like, just, and so what if you don't, I mean, the Tesla thing, and that was 2 years ago, I don't remember. But I put it out there, I'm like, all right, oh, there it is. Oops, there it is, right? So it just, man, just like, go get it. Go get what is yours, go get the things that would allow you to be a blessing to other people's lives. Because when you receive, there's just so much more that you can give. You know, and you're not in a place, you're in a place of abundance. That's the best place to give. just like this, I love being with you guys, cause by just being with you and you're giving me feedback, I'm blessed by it. Period. There's no money involved, right? It doesn't have to always be about money, but it's gonna turn into something that's gonna be people that I haven't met yet, you know? So guys, thank you for sticking around, thank you so much, God bless you. Lots of light. All right, can we get a group picture? We gotta do that. Are you guys okay with that? King is ready to attack the world. He's like punching it out. What?
Online, you can pay for credit card online.
Yes. Yeah.
They said you read something that said, we said it earlier today, you took up what you're already paid, did the half.
The burden is on the receiver
Online.
and the giver never loses.
Okay. So you're good. Go for it.
Can you send that to me?
Yes.
Because my brain is like
It's been my job.
scattered right now.
I started with yours.
Okay, can you guys line up over there?
We should be fun.
I'm always fired.
Right there.
All these are
See, who needs a tripod when you can just rig this up like that? Oh, look at that. What a good looking group. Are you guys all in there?
Except you.
Here we are. Okay, here we go. Wait, hold on. I'll prop the table up, don't worry. I don't need a table. Okay.
Where are you going?
In the middle. Oh, shoot. I can do the timer. Hold on a second. Timer.
10, 8, 7, 6.
Am I blocking anybody? Sorry. Okay, blocking? No, no, it's okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm so sorry.
I
Guys, thank you so much.
also have some extra work, if you guys wanna take some magazines and some boards and do a vision board, I don't.
Oh, free supplies.
Sure, man, you have a question. Shared goal. Shared
If
vision.
you guys wanna take magazines and spread your magazines in here, you're welcome.
Hey guys, can I ask you a question before you leave? Would you like to be? But, excuse me, would you like to be in like a community where we can continue the dialogue and you can share if you'd like to, like maybe on Facebook, in a private Facebook group? Would that be helpful?
Yes.
Is everybody on Facebook? Anybody not?
At least I know who to hire if I need a car.
She's retired from it. The president of the office now.
That's another class.
It's,
So I'll add you guys in, but you know, like, use, I just learned that communities can really just propel you, that you won't do on your own, it's because that we're. Yeah, yeah, okay, I will do that.
That's on my New Year's resolution.
What?
Yes. More involved in social, and, yeah.
Yes.
Very nice to see you.
Well, I mean, you have, you're in a solid place.
behind the successful This is great.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll just need a pencil.
Hello.
Right.
But, you know, I had a.
Go to Thailand. Yes.
Yes.
Time for that.
Exploration.
It gives me about 14 hours a day, and that's all I got. Not that I have.
It's first time full seminar. I've already been to the It's a treat. Very fun. We'll do an hour presentation. There's very moderate.
Probably more aware than 99.9%.
Yeah.
Because I'm
All
all
here.
Exactly. You don't have to practice it, you don't have to present.
Yeah.
Very
Basically,
spontaneous.
as long as she does, is she just write it down and then she's ready to go. There's no written method. And I'm like, that's because it's all right here. Because there's no, you don't need a script, you know, it's just you talk. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
Great to see you.
That's going into.
We're all excited to see you. Be happy, be happy. Thank you for doing this, thanks for doing this.
Always good to see you.
Enjoy hiking. Probably talk to you again soon. And, yeah. And we're looking forward to You're always like a household options throwing out ideas. You always remember the combinations you have and future. And if it becomes too complicated and structured purpose, then you have to make compliance with I always like, is there something that we can do? When there's actually file or something, it doesn't have to be super big, just start with something that we can if we start adding something, we might lose track of it. We're at least that.
Plus, you look at what is the motivation behind it? Maybe it's money, maybe it's just like this is passion. But let's look at that next. So now let's put right on the switch. Because part of the thing is if you don't say, instead of like, okay, let's sit down. Awesome.
Some of the other ones are not used, like, it just,
It shows.
and
that's a frequency. Something I use is most people when I sit down on finances, they have a lot of different.
Right?
This thing here is this one,
Because you're not calling anybody out, you're just making it was sad.
if you want to have a crazy,
How that would
when you
be.
start with the why, then all of a sudden.
Right, and we're like figuring out.
It's really, you don't just say, everyone says, I'm real things, so I can do that. Or I'm a housemaker, so I can do it. Or I'm a CPA, so I can do it. My kids are all in something CPA, my daughter's in a finance shop. So I guess, so I give them a different purpose, this is in alignment with it. Okay. She's gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this. As opposed to the like, my senior, who's been doing this for whatever years, and now she's got stress and weight.
Did I hear?
And I said, okay, is that the life, that's your inevitable, that's your inevitable now, is that?
How you wanna spend the rest of your life.
But they don't think about it.
No.
They get into their inevitable.
Because that's what schools do. And a lot of times in the they want to be, the kid wants to be a teacher and so I said, be a doctor. And they're like, I'm on the track.
Maybe you're finishing up.
My parents were just happy that I graduated from college. They didn't care what major, and I all.
And then you didn't climb that tree.
I know. At one time I found out, so I went with my friend, my friend, and he's really tall, I don't know, like
6 foot fence.
Yeah, like a wire fence, and they're like, let's climb up, like, come down, and then we're gonna. I was stuck at the top of my. Oh, take care of me. I'm gonna play like this. I was scared.
Right, right, yes.